Hey guys, this is Sherry. It's been over a week since I've reported on my results of my lymph node biopsy. We had a hurricane come through here, so it's been kind of busy and crazy in preparation for that, as well as afterwards as well. So today I'm here to talk about a couple things. One, what was the result of the biopsy of the lymph node? Great news. Several days later, well, actually, it was towards the end of the week, I got a call from the nurse at the doctor's office who said that the lymph node testing was benign. So I was really relieved to hear that. So I went into the weekend feeling really, really good, but there's still unanswered questions. Why is the lymph node swollen? For several days after that procedure, my neck was very sore, very swollen, and not feeling really good about it, feeling nauseous and so forth. I guess it kind of is, par for the course. But now the swelling's all gone, but the lymph node itself is still really pretty big. It's pretty swollen. I mean, it feels, the size of a gumball in there. So I go back on the 23rd to discuss with the ENT, why is that still swollen? What's the underlying cause? We've ruled out cancer. What other things do we need to look at? And where do we go from here? I feel a video is really due that explains, from the beginning, what really happened, what led me here, because I haven't really discussed that. So from the beginning, I don't know, somewhere 5, 6, 7 years ago, my boyfriend had noticed a lump in my neck, and that was the lymph node that we just had tested. And it was small and didn't think anything of it, kind of forgot about it, a few years go by. And, I'd say maybe 6 years ago, or 7, I went to the doctor, and I had explained to her on my regular, yearly physical that I was always tired, I couldn't lose weight, just being really frustrated that despite my efforts to live healthier, eat better, and exercise, that I wasn't getting in shape, and that after the birth of my daughter, who at this time was probably about 4 years old, maybe 3, 4, that I wasn't able to go back. I mean, I'd gained 70 pounds after having her, which is ridiculous. And I kind of got the standard, you're a new mom, you have a stressful job, you're in a stressful relationship, you just need to eat healthier and exercise. Yeah, haven't heard that one before. Had been doing all that. I worked in the medical field, so, being with nutritionists daily, I was getting a lot of input on how to eat healthier, and which I know it's not rocket science, and started playing racquetball. And maybe she was around 5. Started taking her with me. My daughter loved to play. So really wasn't getting the answers I needed. My cholesterol was great, heart rate was great, blood work always came back. So I left, and over time, symptoms started getting worse. By now, I had decided to go back to college, was taking night classes and online classes so that my daughter went to sleep, I could study and so forth. So kind of every year I would go back to the doctor. Well, at the same time every year I always got bronchitis. That's something that I have had since I was a young girl living in New England. Every year I would get bronchitis or usually strep throat. So whenever I went back to my doctor was usually when I needed antibiotics for bronchitis or something else that was happening at the time. Well, I had gone to her 4 years ago, maybe 5, and this time I went in her office crying. I said I was so depressed, I can't handle things anymore, and I'd had a couple of episodes driving a car where I had to pull over and call and have someone come and get me. That anxiety was just choking me. Things that I shouldn't be fearful of, I were. And the big manifestation of that fear or anxiety, which anxiety is a mental disorder. It's not nice to say or feel. I hate hearing the words coming out of my mouth. But if you look up anxiety, it's listed as a mental disorder. And I had issues with driving. I could not drive long distances, especially in wide open spaces, which was not like me. I worked for years as a salesperson, and I would travel and drive hundreds of miles. And I would fly different cities, different places. And I started to experience anxiety, and that wasn't like me. And I told her my depression had come to an all-time high, and I was extremely fatigued. And, bad thoughts were running through my head of, it would be better if I wasn't around kind of thing. And that continued to get worse. And I told her I couldn't lose weight. I was still gaining weight. That I, was running the fitness club at work every year, where I would have to motivate other people to join this weight loss group at work to help us to eat healthier, and to exercise more, and I actually would say the phrase, "You need to move your lymph," because we knew the lymphatic system didn't circulate unless you moved your ass. So I would push that. And working in any office with a large group of women, every holiday, birthday, you name it, there's always lots of desserts and cakes and cookies and pies and whatever around, which would make your efforts harder. So we would try as a group to make healthier recipes and really just support each other. Well, this time the doctor had said to me that she wanted to refer me to a therapist, and that because I had a young daughter and a stressful job and a stressful relationship, that I needed to speak with someone about it, and that she would prescribe me medicine that would be an appetite suppressant. And I don't even remember what she prescribed. I tried it for about a week and hated it. It made me agitated and angry. It didn't suppress my appetite whatsoever. Still hungry. But I'm not ravenously eating. I ate like a normal American person, I guess. Maybe even better, because I try to focus on lean meats and vegetables. Well, as fate took it, I ended up relocating to the west coast of Florida. I moved over here, had a new job, new environment, loved it. Life seemed happier. We rented an apartment, and I was on the second floor, which was great because it forced me to exercise more going up and down stairs. And I started the fitness group here on the west coast for the past now going on 4 years. So things were on the up and up. Started working out on my lunch breaks, exercising in the parking lot, jogging, walking, sprinting, you name it. And if you know anything about Florida, now I'm in the Tampa area, it's really hot here. I'm talking like scorching, walking on the sun kind of hot. It's no punk here in July and August. And I've been doing that for several years. I had joined a Beachbody group with my friend who's a coach on the West Coast in California, and started following her regimen because I like being part of something. I like having somebody keeping me accountable. I like the online app where you had to put in your weight, your height, what you did, what you ate. Loved it. What I soon found was I was running myself into the ground. I had no energy. In addition to the severe fatigue and the depression, my hair started getting really dry, my scalp really dry, my brittle nails I've always had, even more brittle. And that's when I went back to my doctor. Now I have a new doctor. And I said, hold up, something's got to happen. I need help. SOS, big problems going on here. And the problems were, as I told him, I need to see a specialist. I have severe fatigue. I can't even function anymore. I refuse to be drinking Red Bulls and Monsters and so forth. Back in college when I was tired and fatigued, because I've had this issue my whole life, Kit Kats and Pepsi kept me going. I'm now in my 40s, and you can't live on sugar anymore. And with the fear of cancer, you definitely can't live on sugar. I believe that cancer cells grow with sugar, in part. So he sent me to an ENT, ears, nose, and throat specialist, who put a scope down my throat, didn't see anything wrong, but my primary doctor and both the ENT wanted an ultrasound done of my thyroid and of my lymph node. And that's what led to both sets of tests. My primary doctor also sent me for blood work, as well as the ENT. And with that came back that my T cells were low, which is, the thyroid issue. But my other things looked great. My sugars, my cholesterol. I donate blood on a regular basis, so I always get to see what my iron levels look like, what my cholesterol looks like. That's another benefit from donating blood. It's not just helping people who need it, when they're in accidents, or the people who just need blood on a regular basis to live. There's people with lots of diseases that need that help. But you also get to see your cholesterol readings. So I've got to see, over the years how it's gone up and gone down. So I have not been eating good these past few months. Ever since I started talking about biopsy, I said, you know what? I'm living like a normal American person. I'm going to kind of eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, in which I have. So now that I know I don't have cancer of the thyroid or the lymph node, now I need to kind of get my ass back in the right direction, eating lean meats again, eating more of a vegetable plant-based diet. And that's pretty much where I plan on going. But my doctor and I, the ENT, did discuss what do I want to do about this thyroid, right? It's full of nodules. More had popped up. Some of them are too big or bigger than, the concern window is always, a centimeter-ish or smaller. Well, I have one that's 2. Then they found more. And we have discussed, or I decided that I feel at this point it needs to be removed. And why? Well, those nodules aren't going to get any smaller. They're not going to go away. Why sit and wait and find cancer? I don't want to have needles stuck in my throat every 3 months. It's not happening. But I'll have to go on hormone replacement therapy for the rest of my life. But I want to delay that until after the holidays. So, it's September now. I'm moving in 2 months into a new place. And I don't want to be going through surgery over the holidays. I'd like to wait till after the first of the year. So that'll give me some time to work on, the plans that I have for exercising, which I'll make another video on that. Where do you go from here? When you have hypothyroidism, how do you lose weight? Well, I've done my research, and this is a progressive linear journey of trying new things, learning new things. I've always been an active person, so I feel really trapped in somebody else's body, and it's very frustrating. But I'll talk about what my plans are in another video, but it's been a while. Some people following this family are wanting to know, okay, what's going on? Where do you go from here? So that's where we're at. Cancer-free in terms of now, or at least what they've been able to dissect. And that lymph node, he went in 7 times, so I can't see an angle he didn't capture on that one. But I'll make another video explaining. I appreciate the support from all my friends and family who have, written to me, called me, supported me when I've seen them. It really helps, and it really helps with the depression because the chemical imbalances that are going on as a result of the thyroid hormones being all out of whack, the cortisol and so forth, it really helps. This is a real issue. I can't control it, but I can learn to try to manage it the best I can, and having a support system means a lot. Have a great day. This was a long video, and I will send out another one soon.